You talking to me?
Did you have a brain tumor for breakfast?
Then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like a clown.
I'm Peter Binkman.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Man that doesn't spend time with his family will never be a real man.
Damn!
I'm kind of a big deal.
First rule of Fight Club is do not talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, baby!
Baby ones.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Hello, Andy.
Hello, Stephen.
This is Frame by Frame, and today is...
Yeah, we're going to be talking about all things Star Beast.
Star Beast.
Yeah, that's the original title of Alien.
Is that the Dan O'Bannon
Yeah,
title?
I think that's what you originally had it.
The Dark Star, then Star Beast.
Oh yeah, you did the special effects on Dark Star, didn't they?
Yeah, and I love the bouncing duo.
Yeah, it's very Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. What came first? Dark Star or Hitchhikers?
I don't know, I want to look into that.
That's a really interesting... Okay, before we start talking about Alien, we're gonna get Dark Star. Okay, Dark Star came out in 1974, so we can safely say that it was being made in 1973.
Yeah. So Hitchhikers was the...
Hitchhiker's Guide
It was a radio
to
show
the
first,
Galaxy.
wasn't
Yeah, let's go from origin. 1978. Oh, do you know what? I reckon
First?
Dark Star was first. That's interesting.
it? That is very interesting.
Doesn't that put a whole spin on the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Does that mean that a lot of that was derived from Dark Star? Was there an influence?
It could be. Oh, I love Douglas Adams. Don't do this to me.
Douglas Adams, you're a fraud. You're a hack fraud. No. Like, to be honest, I mean, anybody who can create a whole world out of something. I mean, everything that has been made world building wise looks similar to something. You can't not. He could have taken it from Metropolis. He could have taken it from Nosferatu for all we cared.
Yeah.
So everything derives from something.
I don't think anyone had the idea of a paranoid android until...
Apparently, yeah, you're right.
Running diagnostics. Get out! Come on! Oh God!
Yeah, at the minute we've got Prometheus on in the background, and she's having the alien taken out of her stomach at the minute.
Which, yeah, Prometheus. This is just one of those things that drives me crazy from this moment on. I think it's great that they have this scene, but as soon as she leaves the pod, she's not acting as though she's had an operation.
Oh, the umbilical cord. Can you just rip an umbilical cord out of your stomach? Is that safe?
No, I mean, if it's attached to a placenta, then the placenta could be quite... you could get infection from that. So, pretty much, if this was based in reality, she would be, first of all, unconscious from all this. I mean, they gave her anesthetic, but clearly she was still in pain. And from this moment on, when she's sliding out of the thing... Oh, I can walk! My legs are working!
She can run.
I can run.
She can work computers.
I can focus.
She's ripped though, isn't she? Look at those abs. Anyhow, before we talk about the bad, let's discuss the good.
Alien was made in 1979. Yes, you were born
78.
in 78. I wasn't even born.
No,
So.
I was 1 year old. I just did some maths.
What does Alien mean to you?
Alien is one of my favourite sci-fi films, I would say. It means a great deal to me. It's every time I watch it, it's like we were talking about the Babadook. It gets under my skin. It's very claustrophobic. I think someone said it's like a haunted house film, but in space.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's got that feel to it. It's fantastic. Yeah,
it doesn't age.
No, it looks just as good now.
Yeah,
as it did then. It stands up absolutely. Like so does Blade Runner.
Yeah, they do.
You know
because
what I mean? Ridley Scott was really great back in the day.
Because the idea is that nothing is too futuristic that it's ridiculously out of hand, you know.
Exactly. I like the fact where most space films, everything was pristine and clean, really, wasn't it? But this wasn't. It was dirty. It's a mining ship, isn't it?
Similar to, was it Outland with Sean Connery that came? I think it is the 80s that the grunge era came in. Punk was going on, and I think that everything was a little bit more dirtier and grittier than they were in the 70s when Logan's Run and all that. And that was that tiny movie that came out in 77.
Oh,
The Star Killer.
No, it was.
Shall I look it up?
No, don't bother.
Was it made by 20th Century Fox?
Could have been.
Then
it was done a long time ago.
Then it was probably rubbish.
Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Yeah. What is it that people find difficult with Alien these days?
Again, it's a slow burner. It's not quick and fast and in your face, is it?
It's a candle rather than a flamethrower.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the beauty of the film.
Yeah, but it's taking everything mouthful by mouthful. Not, you don't gorge.
But when those scenes come,
like
the chestburster scene, it's iconic. Never seen anything like that before. Interestingly, you know how Dan O'Bannon got the idea for that?
The chestburster? No.
He had Crohn's disease, and he suffered debilitating sort of pain in his intestines.
Got ya.
And he woke up one day and he just thought, just had the idea of something bursting through someone's chest.
Right.
And being a man was important, because up until that point, it was always women that sort of, obviously wouldn't give birth, but it was the women who were sort of picked on in films.
Yeah.
For that to happen, so to happen to a guy was a big departure. It was quite brave as well, really.
If that was ever us, we wouldn't be Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we wouldn't be going, "I'm pregnant." We'd be going, "Oh my God, get it out of me!" We'd be going, "Oh my God, I really don't want to do this right now." We're not made for that kind of thing.
Literally, we are not made.
Yeah, we're not literally, but mentally. I mean, mentally, I think if any guy went through pregnancy, it would just be rubbish. It would be the most depressing. You'd see a lot of angry men, just really, really pissed off.
Yeah, there was a rumour that's always circulated that the cast weren't aware of that happening, but they read the script and knew something was going to happen. But I think the reality of it is they didn't know how gory it was going to be.
No, they didn't realise. I mean, I don't think expecting the blood flow to come flying across.
Yeah. Because I think the actress, I always forget her name,
Veronica Cartwright, who plays Lambert.
Yeah, that's it. She got like loads of blood in her face. Apparently, it sent her over a table. She fell over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't have a very happy time in this movie.
She didn't. If it's true, which I believe it is, she, up until getting to set, was convinced she was playing the part of Ripley, not Lambert.
Which makes me think that's that deleted scene where Lambert wallops Sigourney Weaver with about 3 or 4 fisticuff blows was actually a kind of a passive aggressive stress ball.
It does look quite, yeah. It does look, and then she passes. Then she gives her that look, doesn't she, when she walks past her?
Yeah, I
don't know if she was happy.
I don't know if there was tension on the set between those two, but it does make you think, wow. Yeah, when you start to hear those stories, you kind of connect all the dots. Well, why did they delete that scene? It was perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was real, and they said, cut it out. We don't want it in there. But yeah, who knows? I mean, the thing is, back in 1979, these films were made with a lot more secrecy than they are now, and things weren't put out on the internet as they are now. I mean, the new Star Wars film is being chronicled all over the place. Every single actor who's in it can't help themselves but tweet stuff. And but back in 79 or 78, well, I guess when this was made, they were all just kind of just doing their job and going home. They didn't have any, they didn't go to newspapers and say, "Oh, guess what happened today at work." You know, so everything that happened in this film is kind of shrouded in mystery, I think. Other than what you see and hear said in all the multiple interviews from the multiple different versions of this movie, they all kind of come out saying the same thing.
Would you say it's the best Alien film?
I'd say it is the Alien film.
Yeah.
Not, but to assign best would say that there are others to compare.
That's a good point. Yeah.
To this one, it is the perfect film that is called Alien.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's me being an awkward git.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, shall we? Anything else on Alien? Do you want to add?
Just as is this film and Jaws that have the moment in it that every time it happens, I jump, which is when he's going through those tunnels. And they're watching, like, the xenomorph.
The crawl space.
Yeah, and it's getting closer and closer to him. And then he's like, and it's like, it's on you. And you can't see it.
Get out of there!
Yeah, he goes down some steps and it's just, and it's like, no matter how many times I see the film, that part makes me jump. And it's the same in Jaws when he's gone scuba diving, he's looking through that wreckage and that severed head pops down.
Yeah.
That makes me jump every time as well. Masterful filmmaking.
Exactly, because you don't expect, because no matter how many times you watch it, they did that off-beat, off-rhythm.
Yeah.
That's something that I think we learnt when we were making CA03. The off-beat scare works. So it's not a matter of counting 1, 2, 3, scare. It's 1, 2, 3, scare!
Yeah.
Dallas? No.
Take it easy. Dallas?
It's hitting it offbeat.
So it's like the semi-quaver.
The semi-quaver, exactly.
3E. It's on the E of the 3.
It's on the E of the 3.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's a good bit of movie theory there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scares are delivered on the E of the 3.
Yeah. Well, I just come up with that.
Yeah. That is. Yeah.
Patent it.
I'm going to write that down. Nah.
It's alright, it'll be on the podcast.
It'll be on the podcast. It's out there forever. Maybe we ought to create our own test here, that when we are watching films, which scares are delivered on the beat, or which ones are off the beat. Of course, you need something to relate to, the length of the scene or a certain sound that what do you call it? Not preluding,
I'm not going to help you.
You're just going to watch me struggle. I like this about you. You just want me to fail. No, you don't. It's pre. Is it the cue that precedes the scare? And of course the music.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The music for me is one of those things that I can listen to any time of the day, no matter what I'm doing, especially if I'm writing or, even just changing a room around or cleaning or washing up, anything. Just, apart from having sex, it's not really good.
I tend to listen to the Jaws music. By the time it gets to the do-do-do, I'm finished by then, I'm done.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a beautiful score that is amazing background, no matter what you're up to.
But also, it has that ambient, like...
Yeah.
Always in the background.
I love it.
Everything adds to it. We should really talk a little bit about H.R. Geiger, really.
Yeah.
And it's just what he made. It's beautiful.
He is...
It's all got like a pseudo-sexual vibe to everything.
But everything I think he was, because he was considered a very isolated private man who basically did these amazing airbrush images.
Yeah.
And actually had his airbrush images made into sculptures.
You know the first time O'Bannon met Geiger, he was smoking opium.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, for his vision.
For his vision.
Yeah, it helps his vision. It helps mine too.
Yeah, of course.
And cold.
And colds, yeah, that's great. The whole Geiger thing is that everything that he made and drew came from his dreams. A lot of that probably helped. As I think it probably helped Jodorowsky in his designs of the Dune that never was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that that it's a product of the time. definitely. I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
Geiger's work is suffocatingly dark and smoulderingly dirty and gritty. I mean, there are babies in jars. There are all kinds of weird organs just going all. No matter where it is, there's an organ somewhere in that image.
But you can imagine when they were coming to make Alien, we've seen
As
Geiger's work and thinking, "That's the guy we need."
Yeah, I mean,
we need him.
But Geiger was originally going to be working on Jodorowsky's Dune.
Yeah,
and that is something that I kind of wished had. I mean, everybody wishes that had happened. I think that documentary that they made recently force-fed it down your throat too much to say that it was a masterpiece that never was. And then we all believe it because we're thinking, oh, I really wish I could have seen that. But in a way, you know, let Geiger have Alien because this is his greatest piece of work ever. And of course, it hasn't been able to escape us because I think a lot of his influences have been popping up all over the place.
Yeah, well, I think his work obviously influenced the rest of the Alien films.
And horror as well, in general. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Freddy Krueger's glove coming out of the bathtub would have been there had Geiger not been an influence in the sexual pseudo images that came from him. Those kind of things don't just come from anywhere. That could have been a painting by Geiger at one time.
Yeah, I've never thought of it before, but now you mention it. Never got on board with the Elm Street films.
The thing about Freddy Krueger, going off topic here slightly, is that... well, actually, no, it's not going off topic at all, because it's exactly the same as the Alien. Once you've seen him, you're no longer scared of him.
Yeah.
Once he becomes an iconic character, like the Alien, you know, once you've seen the whole form, you're just happy to see him. You're just kind of like, oh look, there's Freddy. Oh look, there's the Alien. It's like in the new game, Alien Isolation. You're not so much scared of seeing the Alien. You're just kind of you just enjoy the idea that it's there instead of actually having the fear. So having the knowledge and the understanding, the pure, the having him rammed down your throat, literally. As soon as you understand the beast, where's the fear?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing left to discover.
I remember it just being built up, and I thought, oh yeah, you know, finally got to watch Nightmare on Elm Street, and the end of it I was kind of like, oh, okay.
There you go.
That happened. I enjoyed it, but anyway.
So Alien is that...
it's a masterpiece. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's beautiful, and I'd watch it any day, every day, if I could.
Yeah.
So...
And then, so after that, you've got a director who probably no one's ever heard of called James Cameron, who did you don't like calling it a sequel, do you?
Actually, I need to go back on that because in a way Aliens is the sequel, but it's not Ridley Scott's vision the sequel.
No, it's not.
Just tell me one thing, Burke. You're going out there to destroy them, right? Not to study, not to bring back, but to wipe them out.
That's the plan.
All right, people, on the ready line. Are you me? Yeah! Are you me? Yeah! Get on the ready line, Marine! Get something to die! Get on the ready line!
Yeah, James Cameron really didn't want to go out and make a sequel to Alien 2. He didn't want to do that.
No, he wanted to make an action film.
He wanted to do what he knew was best, and I think that was right. He was right to go along with that. And instead of just seeing one alien, I want to see lots of aliens, plural. I want to see Marines with guns. I want Ripley to face the alien again. But, you know, and the idea of going back to the planet where they went to, it's kind of like it's just a boomerang film, really, if you think about it. Yeah. It's just let's just go back.
No.
Let's go back and do that again.
Yeah, let's do that.
But let's really go out and have them all coming out of the walls. Aliens, for me, is a great movie, though. It's the ragtag fleet kind of group of people who are pitted against evil.
Yeah, and there's great dialogue in it. You know, the banter
Aliens?
In Aliens, yeah, the banter between, like you say, the team is great. Have you ever been mistaken for a man? Have you?
Yeah,
Great
and
line.
it's really action. It's kind of banter that just belongs in action films.
Yeah,
It's the Rambo banter. It's the Rocky films banter. It's the I'll insult you, you insult me kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Cameron didn't have two characters like Parker and Brett in it that were kind of like the two buddies walking around making bets with each other. But I'm glad he didn't.
I'm glad and it wouldn't really have suited the dynamic of it being like Marines, yeah.
Yeah, and they could have gone very far with the characters, but they kept them as a ragtag group. They didn't get too far into their personalities, other than the stereo. They were built on stereotypes, really.
Of course, yeah. What do you think of Newt?
Newt was good to have as the mother-daughter thing. And I think
because obviously Ripley finds out that, in the 57 years that she's been on ice since Alien, that she's, her husband.
Her family have died.
Yeah, her daughter's
gone. So
it's sort of, it helps that dynamic between, it gives us the reason at the end that she goes back and gets her.
Which is exactly the same dynamic, almost. Well, other than, in The Last of Us, the game, it's the same dynamic. It's about a father who loses his daughter, who dies in her arms, and then for the whole game, he's building a relationship with another little girl who he's trying to protect.
Right.
Exactly the same dynamic as Ripley, and it's quite astonishing because that game does the same thing. She gets captured and then he has to rescue her and he goes back and then they kind of bond.
Right. The actress who played Newt, it's the first time she'd ever acted, and she never acted again.
Catherine Henn, wasn't it? Or
I think it was.
Henn. I can remember her name.
Carrie Henn.
Carrie Henn. She only did the one film.
Yeah, she's a school teacher now. She did that one film and then never acted again.
She's a school teacher, right? So she was very young when she did that, though, and there were some telling moments that said to me that the script didn't quite work for her. That the dialogue was coming from the mind of an adult.
Yeah,
it won't make any difference. That line itself wouldn't be said by a child.
No, and the actual character just reminds me of Poltergeist.
Yeah,
she always has the little creepy things that she comes out with. It's like
saying
right out of Poltergeist.
The right thing, and I think the one film that did that right was Exorcist, where the little girl was just being a little girl, talking about the horse and about the things that she wants to do, and having a giggling play fight with her mom, and this little things like that were perfect, but. How do you put that into Newt, who is a scared little girl who just wants to say scary things?
Yeah.
They come out mostly at night. Mostly.
My favourite scene in Aliens is when, I think it's really the only scary part in it, is, when the Sigourney and Newt, Ripley and Newt, go to sleep in that room.
The medical room,
and then he chucks the facehugger in and locks them in.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a really, really good scene.
It is, and we haven't talked about Paul Reiser, who is the suit. The suit in that film. He is a comedian.
Yeah.
First and foremost, he is mad about you. He is.
Oh,
no. He's in Mad About You with Helen Hunt. Yeah. And I love that series. I love his books. He is hilarious and fun, and just kind of. He's a very cozy comedian. So when you see him in this movie being an evil son of a bitch, and it works.
Yeah, it does.
He's great at being sleazy.
That's why it's so good, though. You trust him.
Exactly.
You trust the character until, obviously, you can't be trusted.
Aliens. This time, it's war.
Overall, it's a very exciting film.
It is. There's some great visuals in it.
Doesn't stop. Doesn't let go.
Yeah, again, when they've locked the door and they're waiting for the aliens to come through the door, it does hark back to Alien.
Yeah.
Where they're saying, right, it's on you now, it's there, and they're like, it's in there, it's in the room, and then he just looks up in the roof. And
brilliant.
And you just see them all coming at him. Wow.
Yeah, that is, if you think about it, the films that nowadays that are really fast-paced and all over the place are only fast-paced and all over the place because they're edited that way.
Yeah, they're so terrified of losing the audience's attention.
Yeah. But now, I mean, if we look at Aliens, it's quite slow compared. But yet, when we watched Aliens when we were younger, it was the fastest thing on the planet. It raced, it ran through, and it just wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
But now, if you compare that to, say, Transformers, it probably is it's probably slow and ponderous. But it's not. It really isn't.
No.
I think James Cameron has that skill though of keeping the right pace, slowing it down when he needs to, and then driving it to the end, and just letting it go. And
yeah, technically he is a great director. Technically,
he is. Technically,
I've got to say, I'm not a massive fan of Cameron.
I have my issues with Cameron, but they stem from him being too much of a personality.
I remember watching the special features for the Abyss.
Yes,
which I like the Abyss.
I love the Abyss.
And when he's being interviewed, he's underwater in old scuba gear, giving an interview, and I just thought, you dick.
Yeah.
You don't. I'd prefer you just be sat around the table having a coffee and talking about the film. You don't have to be underwater.
No, just
in a scuba gear.
Just relax and just be James Cameron. Be a filmmaker, for heaven's sakes. Don't try and oversell yourself.
Yeah.
Because there's no point. I don't want to know about filmmakers' personal lives.
No.
And I don't want to know about what James Cameron really, really thinks. As much as I would with Ridley. Ridley would just be so relaxed. He'd be chilled out doing his interviews. He'd have a cigar, and he'd just be matter of fact. Whatever you ask him is what you get. But the beautiful thing that I do love about Ridley Scott and James Cameron is that they are both amazing directors, but they're both visual directors.
Yeah.
They do all their own storyboards.
Yeah.
And that, at least, James Cameron has my vote for being one of the best directors, because he is able to just get so personal with his projects that he will try and do everything that he can to put the right vision across. He doesn't just expect everybody else to run around for them.
I can't see Michael Bay storyboarding Transformers.
How do you storyboard Transformers? Other than just going to your toolbox, picking it up, and then dropping it and just taking photographs of things as they fall onto the floor.
Yeah.
Do you actually get an idea of what those action scenes are in Transformers? But there we go again. I mean, it's the competency of the filmmaker to actually put everything that you see on the screen making sense.
Yeah.
And I think that in Aliens, there was nothing that we sat there going, what the hell is going on?
No, definitely not. Again, I wouldn't put Cameron as one of my favourite directors at all. Not at all. He just doesn't. His films...
Yeah.
I like Aliens.
Do you like Terminator?
The first Terminator was great. I'm not that fussed on the second one.
No? Oh.
But everyone seems to think is amazing, but it just doesn't do that much for me. I did when I was a kid, but not now.
I think the second one is a real joy to watch. It's fun. It's a fun fest.
Yeah, I'd go with that, but I wouldn't keep going back to it to watch it over and over again. I like The Abyss.
The Abyss is lovely.
What else has he done?
True Lies. Yeah, True Lies. Okay, Avatar.
No way. Lost me on Avatar.
Titanic. Steams up the glass a little bit.
It does. Again, though,
it makes me angry. Titanic.
Yeah, technically, again, it's a good film. All these films are technically great.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't need a love story.
No.
The story of Titanic is big enough.
The lifetime of love that is lost on that ship does not equal two people who have just met.
Yeah.
And the fact that she is that selfish that she doesn't share her life raft with him and just lets him die is just,
Well, he was. To be honest, the way he was in the film, I'd let him die as well. I reckon he's lost interest. I want to watch that and count how many times he says shit. Oh, shit.
Does he?
Yeah, count it.
I haven't really watched it that often.
No.
You must be really...
It's because I hate myself. I just watch it because I don't like it.
It's like the ultimate torture.
Yeah.
Like, you've been a bad boy, go watch Titanic.
In the corner.
No.
On a phone.
So on a phone, even worse.
Oh, God.
Well, yeah. Okay, so Aliens is done. And the music is also pretty awesome. Do you know what I used to do when I was a kid? I used to listen to the soundtrack. There's that moment when they lift the woman's head and she's basically attached to the wall, and all of a sudden she opens her eyes and it's well, the soundtrack is exactly the same. There's actually about 8 minutes, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's about 8 minutes of just mood. There's just mood soundscape throughout, and then it just hits you. Well, I used to just pretend that I was actually in the movie, and it used to get me every time, that soundtrack. You play that track. I think it's sub-level 2 or whatever.
Do you like the music in Alien 3?
Here, in a world where the sun burns cold and the wind blows colder, a visitor has come. But not by herself.
It started.
The suspense is back.
And we have no weapons of any kind?
The fear is back.
Ah! Don't look back, dude! Run as fast as you can!
And most of all, the bitch is back. Alien 3.
So, David Fincher. How did he do?
I would hypothesize that he did quite well. The studio messed it up.
That he didn't get the support?
I don't think he got the support at all.
Like with James Cameron was a very young director. First time he hadn't made, I think Terminator hadn't even been released when James Cameron was signed up for Aliens.
Right.
And the studio just wanted a young, cheap director, not realizing that these people were actually quite gutsy directors. Which is quite funny that 20th Century Fox did the same thing twice with David Fincher as well. That they are really competent directors, and they will make trouble. Yeah. They won't just lie down and take what you've given them. And unfortunately, I think David Fincher's as another visionary director.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think he was probably he actually did give way. Unfortunately, You
think he did?
I think they had more power over him at this time, at this moment in his career. If he'd have had the backing of say James Cameron or anybody else who was previously associated, he might have had a bit more muscle. But I think that the special effects were a little lousy. The first idea of having was it a bull as the alien host?
Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it?
It was a bison or bull.
Or was it a dog?
It was a dog in the actual film, in the actual theatrical release.
But in the
special edition.
Special edition, yeah.
I'm not too sure about the story, because the script went through many changes. It went through many different hands. Originally, it was a story about monks in an outer space station.
Yeah, wasn't it something to do with a wooden planet?
Yeah, it was a planet that had a kind of like a self-sustaining shield to it, and everything in there was natural.
Yeah,
which was, I think, was Dan O'Bannon's idea. I'm not sure if he had the idea, or I've got to just get all these names right, because I think there are so many people associated with the many different drafts of Alien 3. I mean, just watch the documentary that goes with the definitive edition. I think you'll kind of get all the idea from that. But I think when David Fincher came on board, it had already been hacked to bits, and what was left was the planet and prisoners.
Prisoners that are all rapists and murderers, the worst kind of people.
But they weren't really that bad.
No, they weren't.
They were all pretty easygoing.
Apart from the one gang rape attempt.
Yeah, but there was just one.
Yeah, it's only one. You gotta let them off of that.
Yeah, I mean, but But I mean, to be fair, they did make some strange decisions in this movie, and I think that the first strange decision that angers all fans, and this is why I strongly believe that it's not a sequel. It's just its own film.
Yeah.
There was no Hicks, there was no Newt, and there was barely a bishop.
Yeah, yeah. Newt, because at the very beginning, Newt's dead, isn't she?
Hicks is dead.
Yeah,
Newt's dead.
Gone. So I suppose that's dark, and to
Yeah.
start the film with everyone, she just
But the
survived
problem
with
is,
being dead.
if you're a fan of Aliens, you're going to be pissed off. So the only way you can actually enjoy this franchise is don't be a fan. Why do you need to be a fan? Why not just understand that this is another film, another director has taken the story, progressed it in his way. Hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping that was his idea. I don't know if that was entirely his decision and he had to just work with it, but he did the best he could with what he had.
Yeah.
But there wasn't. I mean, Michael Biehn is that kind of an actor who would have signed up anyway if he was told Alien 3, he would have gone, yeah, I'm not doing anything.
And Sigourney Weaver, she lobbied for there to be no guns in this film.
Yeah.
Because she had a big problem with Aliens because there were so many guns in it, and she's anti-gun.
Anti-gun, yeah. Although they could have benefited with something.
I suppose if you're on a prison planet, to have guns
would be it
wouldn't be a great idea.
Yeah. So no Hicks, no Newt, Ripley, dark. They do an autopsy of the little girl. The alien is given birth while they cremate the bodies of these, and everybody's kind of like going, okay, this is what we're doing. This is Alien 3.
Yeah.
Now what?
It's not without some interesting.
I enjoy watching Alien 3.
Yeah.
I will watch it because Brian Glover is fascinating to me. He's a lot bigger in Alien 3 because they always shot everything quite low in that movie for some reason. They like nostril cam.
Yeah.
So he's actually a small man. But then I think everybody was a lot smaller than Sigourney Weaver in that film.
Yeah, but he has presence in the film.
He does.
Yeah.
He's quite a bitter man. I kind of just feel as though that when I do watch it, I kind of want it. I desperately wanted it to be something more than what it was. I didn't want the ending. I didn't want Ripley to die, and when bringing Wayland into it was stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
They could have ended it very differently.
But yeah, they could have. But I suppose it was interesting, her sacrificing herself.
Yeah,
just to get rid of.
It made sense thematically that ultimately she was going to sacrifice herself, but it kind of really, it was a shame that. That for everything that she went through in Alien and everything that they went through in Aliens, that it would just end up being a dirty prison, lice-ridden prison planet, and everybody dies.
Yeah,
I love the soundtrack. Actually, I do.
Again, that's very dark and broody, isn't it?
It is, and it's very orchestral. So, what are your ultimate thoughts on Alien 3? Anything?
Like I said, when I can watch the film and I can enjoy it. I think it's a decent made film, but it seems to me a film that would not let its director put his full vision onto it. I think it's obviously a film that the studios had too much input into. Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
Exactly. I think that's right. I think that's exactly how I feel about it too. And it was 1992 as well, and I think that special effects were still struggling to become.
Yeah, some of the CGI.
Yeah, they were trying to do the CGI instead of the puppet.
It's very hammy in parts.
And I think that's probably down to the idea that they wanted to have a dog alien, so therefore they couldn't do a lot of costume stuff. If they just stuck with the alien becoming from a human, if it came from Hicks, it would have been more logical, and then they would have been able to have a man in a costume a lot more, because it would have been the alien that we recognised. They didn't need to do the dog alien, but it still looked quite fascinating all the same.
Where are the others?
They didn't make it.
This is the end of part 1. In part 2, we talk about Alien Resurrection, Alien vs. Predator, and Prometheus.
With 25. All double white promos, all thieves, rapists, murderers, child molesters, all scum. Just because they've taken on religion doesn't make them any less dangerous.
Does the recorder indicate anything? Was there an alien on board?
Yes.
We've no time for all this. We've got to get out of here. Come on.
When the music stops, turn your cassette over.
Liquid storage bags! You will never get caught short again thanks to liquid storage bags!
Here you get 8, that's right, 8 bags in which you can store your very own liquid items.
Bag on sold separately, liquid not included.
The attractive cardboard box is easy to open.
With each wonderfully transparent, durable, and easily accessible.
Ready to go! That's right, when you've got to go, liquid storage bags are there for you!
Liquid storage bags?
That's right!
Liquid storage bags!
They're sleek, sturdy, and stylish. And what's more, you can write all the information you need right there on the bag, where the space is provided.
Warning, do not write on liquid storage bags. Liquid storage bags cannot be found in any store, by phone, or online.
So you know that liquid storage bags are the product for you.
And only you!
What's it called?
Liquid storage bags!
Ah, yeah! Liquid storage bags!